Your best friends, Scott and Sarah, feel like they've had the worst summer ever so far. Their parents suddenly had to work more hours, which meant a big family vacation got canceled. Then their dog ran away and is nowhere to be found. And if that wasn't enough, the freezer broke and all the ice cream they looked forward to eating melted. Ugh. But summer isn't over yet. It's up to you to help them save what's left of it. Give them advice each day on what they should do by selecting one of 3 choices you feel is best. Pick wrong, and their summer gets worse. Pick correctly, you'll help bring some color back into their lives. It's time for Scott and Sarah's most excellent summer adventure. You consider starting things off by suggesting Scott and Sarah attend a local event. You discover there's a rodeo in town, as well as a circus. What do you recommend? 1, you all head out to the circus together. 2, you take them both to the rodeo. 3, you don't suggest either option. All right, what did you choose? It's time to find out what happened next. Did you choose the circus? Well, at the circus, a pack of wild clowns run up and lasso you all, and then use actual paint to color your faces to look like them. Scott and Sarah are devastated. You lose 500 points. Did you decide to do nothing? Your lack of suggestions don't make anything better. What game are you playing anyway? Remember, this is not Scott and Sarah's snooze fest. You lose 1,000 points. Did you take him to the rodeo? Well, good news. At the rodeo, Scott tries bull riding and is so good that he wins a trophy. Sarah also calms a wild horse down, and the owner thanks her with money. The rodeo is a hit. Gain 1,000 points. It's 95 and rising. The AC's busted. Everyone is melting like crayons on the dashboard. Time to cool things down. Literally. What do you suggest? Backyard water balloon fight? Sneak into a fancy hotel pool? Create a homemade soapy slip and slide. Backyard water balloon fight? As you all get ready, some ratty neighbor kids sneak over and fill some of your balloons with pickle juice. Now Sarah smells like a sandwich and Scott isn't feeling all that kosher. Total chaos. Everyone is soaked in brine. Lose 500 points. Sneak into a fancy hotel pool? You make it past the front desk with confidence in a borrowed pool noodle. For 10 glorious minutes, it's paradise. Then, security shows up. You pretend to be foreign diplomats who can't speak English. They're not buying it. One security guy uses Duolingo to call out your fake accent. Busted in 3 languages. Lose 500 points. Create a homemade soapy slip and slide. You stretch out tarps around the entire neighborhood, smear dish soap and add water. Scott puts on a helmet and launches like a rocket. Sarah follows, giggling. You all take turns and even their parents come home and join in. This crushed. Gain 1,000 points. After learning of their tragic freezer meltdown, you vow to get Scott and Sarah some frozen dairy. But how? Sketchy neighborhood ice cream truck, DoorDash it in from a local place, make homemade ice cream at your house. Sketchy neighborhood ice cream truck. You hear it approach as it plays a warped tune of Pop Goes the Weasel at 0.5 speed. You pay in cash, but get an expired push pop and a melted Choco Taco. Also, your change is in Chuck E. Cheese tokens from 2004. Lose 500 points. Make homemade ice cream at your house? You find a recipe online, so you all churn and churn and churn. The end result is salty milk with chunks. Sarah tries to be polite as a single tear drips from her eye. Scott collapses onto his knees, shakes his fist at the sky, and yells, "Why, God, why?" Lose 500 points. DoorDash it in from a local place. You order, you wait, it arrives in 12 minutes. The waffle cone is still crispy. The ice cream hasn't melted a drop. When does this ever happen? Today. Everyone cheers, even the delivery guy. Gain 1,000 points. Time for a movie night? Yes, please. But where should it happen? Here's what's available. Public pool showing of The Little Mermaid. Picnic in an open field showing Twisters. Mountain hike while watching Lord of the Rings. Picnic in an open field showing Twisters. Halfway in, it starts raining and the chaos on screen matches the wet chaos around you. Children start screaming. Grown men start crying. As the mob slowly makes its way to the parking lot, Scott steps into a massive mud puddle and Sarah trips over him face first into it. Lose 500 points. Mountain hike while watching Lord of the Rings. You all arrive excited. 6 hours later, though, you're just finishing the intro because it's the ultra extended 8K bonus scenes edition and the Wi-Fi is horrible. Everyone's cranky at how scary the mountain is at night. Scott and Sarah sob during Frodo's speech and yell at their screens to talk him out of his trip. This fellowship is a sour one indeed. Lose 500 points. Public pool showing of The Little Mermaid. Everyone is a bit surprised that the pool has actual fish swimming in it. But once the movie gets rolling, you learn they're trained fish who dance to every song. Sarah says, "It's just like the movie." Even Scott sings along to the show-stopping tunes. Gain 1,000 points. Scott and Sarah are still heartbroken over their lost dog, Waffles. But you hear 3 new leads. Where should you all investigate? An abandoned house in a nearby neighborhood? A taco stand in a sketchy part of the big city? A local fire department firehouse? An abandoned house in a nearby neighborhood? Spooky. Cobwebs. You knew that going in. What you didn't count on is an edgy old-timer named Hobo Hank. He keeps calling you all a bunch of meddling kids. And that bark you thought you heard? It's just a raccoon with asthma. You leave behind a Scooby snack as a peace offering while running out in fear. Lose 500 points. A local fire department firehouse. You walk in, the firefighters are confused. The only dog there is their faithful Dalmatian, who while you're all talking, pees on Scott's leg. SARA backs away in disgust and gets tangled up in fire hoses. Looks like Waffles is still lost, and everyone's mood tanks. Lose 500 points. A taco stand in a sketchy part of the big city. You arrive and Waffles is chilling under a picnic table, licking a dropped burrito. The vendor says he jumped in when someone tried to steal from me. He's been guarding the tacos for 3 weeks. Scott and SARA are overjoyed as they give Waffles a big hug. The owner treats you all to churros and names a burrito after Waffles, which ironically becomes locally popular at breakfast. Gain 1,000 points. The sun is out and the beach is calling you all to soak it in. How should you spend your time there? Body surfing without any personal experience, lay out, tan, and maybe build a sandcastle, competitive sand volleyball tournament. Body surfing without any personal experience, Scott wipes out instantly. SARA loses a flip-flop and sprains her ankle. You swallow a mouthful of the current and are now 47% lake water. The lifeguard politely asks you to surf later, never. Lose 500 points. Lay out, tan, maybe build a sandcastle. Well, the beach is crowded, so the only space to lay out is right at the water's edge, and the waves soak your stuff. You get Scott and SARA to try sculpting a majestic castle, but then a small child tries to move in. The whole thing falls over him. His parents run over and call you irresponsible for the sand that will now be all over the inside of their new Cybertruck. Lose 500 points. Competitive sand volleyball tournament? Scott and SARA have never played before, so you show them the basics. It turns out they catch on and surpass your skills, using some sort of sibling vibes to pass, set, spike away the entire competition. Local news crews show up, and prospective colleges start offering them scholarships to attend their schools. Gain 1,000 points. You got a coupon for free mini golf. Time to hit the greens. But which course? Pirate-themed mini golf, action movie-themed mini golf, haunted jungle-themed mini golf. Action movie-themed mini golf. Explosions erupt at every hole, and you're not sure they're supposed to. Something is wrong at this course, but between the loud music and flashing lights, you're not sure if you should even smack the golf balls that are labeled TNT on the side. Someone yells, "Get down!" You all do, again, not knowing if anyone is even running this place. Scott is overwhelmed. SARA is crawling back to the parking lot. Lose 500 points. Haunted jungle-themed mini-golf? You think it's just going to be fog machines and jungle sounds. Then a costumed snake eye jumps out and shouts at you in a made-up tribal language. SARA lets out a scream that causes a nearby animatronic gorilla to explode. Turns out the snake eye is the owner's son, and Junior claims he was just living his truth. He blames Scott for spiritually injuring him, and he threatens legal action using a cursed rattle as evidence. Lose 500 points. Pirate-themed mini-golf. Arr! Every hole has a fun pirate pun and parrots that sit on your shoulders while you play. On the last shot, called the impossible shot, SARA hits it in. Then a nearby ship shakes, and an odd old pirate pops up and says,
"Aye, matey, you just won this whole place. I'm retiring off to sea."
10 out of 10 experience and a new summer business. Scott hires all of his friends. SARA teaches the parrots how to fist bump. Gain 1,000 points. Time for a spontaneous road trip somewhere. But where? World's biggest ball of twine? Famously abandoned amusement park. Scott and Sarah's grandma's house. World's biggest ball of twine. It's big, it's round, and it's all stringy. What else is it? Boring. Absolutely boring. Scott keeps mumbling, "Why?" SARA learns that the guy who made it got sick making it, so she compulsively hand sanitizes the rest of the day. Lose 500 points. Scott and Sarah's grandma's house. You think she's got cookies, a pool, and will feed us all day. Turns out, you interrupt Grandma's weekly bingo gathering, and if there's one thing you don't mess with Grandma about, it's bingo. On top of that, the pool is green and smells like expired bean dip. Her cupboards are locked too. No cookies or even saltine crackers for you. Lose 500 points. Famously abandoned amusement park. Guess what? The power still works. You enjoy some bumper cars, hop on the tilt-a-whirl, and play around in the funhouse. It's nostalgic, reminding everyone of when they were kids. You even find cotton candy from 1998 that doesn't expire for 4 more years. You all decide to clean things up over the summer as a gift to whomever owns it. Gain 1,000 points. You're thinking it might be time for some camp vibes, but how will you set it all up? Traditional tents and fire pit? Fancy glamping tent with Wi-Fi. Sleep under the stars. Fancy glamping tent with Wi-Fi. You bring a projector, speakers, and chargers. Only problem, the camping area was taken over by Amish Boy Scouts who made the whole thing electricity free. You spend the night buffering a slow signal off of your phones. SARA declares mutiny as Scott bonks his head against a tree. Lose 500 points. Sleep under the stars. So magical until the sprinklers turn on. Now everyone's soggy and angry, and you lose everything fun you brought to do and munch on. All the yelling cranks up the neighbors into a fit, and they call the police on you hoodlums. The stars may have been pretty, but the night got ugly. Lose 500 points. Traditional tents and a fire pit. Classic. No need to mess with a reliable win. You roast marshmallows, tell wild stories, and someone farts around the fire. You spend the rest of the night blaming each other for it. It's perfect. Gain 1,000 points. Time to burn some energy. You suggest that everyone should try out a recreational sport, but which one? Play a game of horse on horses, pickleball tournament against 80-year-olds, extreme dirt biking with Tom Cruise. Pickleball tournament against 80-year-olds. You face off against the Jerry athletes. One wears goggles, another wears a cape. Every time they lose, they claim they can't remember the rules and they make new ones up in their favor, like gravity is optional today. At one point, you all end up using a bagel instead of a ball and a noodle instead of a paddle. The referees are confused. So are you. An old cheerleading woman with a potty mouth named Granny Smash insults you all day. Lose 500 points. Extreme dirt biking with Tom Cruise. Tom is full of an energy level only legally permitted in outer space. He blindfolds Scott and Sarah and screams, "Feel the wind, not the fear!" as he instructs them to ride by following the sound of the Mission Impossible theme song. They go along with it until Scott wheelies into a pond and Sarah crashes into a bush. Tom Cruise rips off his latex mask to reveal he was Nicolas Cage all along, who then peels his face off to reveal he's actually Chris Pratt, who then runs off in shame. Lose 500 points. Play a game of horse on horses. You mount noble steeds named things like Kevin and Butter Biscuit and take your basketball game to the next level. Scott invents a new trick shot called reverse horsey dunk. Sarah rides her horse backwards while sinking a bank shot. A small crowd gathers and chants, "Nay, nay, nay." An ESPN camera crew appears. You make SportsCenter under the title, Teens Dominate Hoops on Hooves. Gain 1,000 points. Scott and Sarah mention their love of music. There are only 3 concerts in town though. Which one do you suggest? Taylor Swift Polka Tribute Band, local boy band concert, a random band called Slinky Dog's Revenge. Taylor Swift Polka Tribute Band. They open with Love Story on accordion while doing interpretive dancing and lederhosen. Then the whole band chews a mouthful of sauerkraut while singing You Belong With Me. Scott gets smacked by a flying schnitzel. Sarah hides in a barrel. You're hit by bratwurst sticks during the drum solo. Shake it off. Lose 500 points. Local boy band concert. They're local, they're loud. Their choreography is from the 90s, because they're all in their 90s. They call themselves Backstreet Uncles as they perform in tracksuits and sing off-key love songs to someone named Linda. One guy pops a hip mid-spin. Another pulls out a kazoo for a solo. The whole show takes 6 hours because of the pace. Their grand finale? Handing out sweaty handfuls of Werther's Originals to the crowd while asking, "We still got it, right?" Lose 500 points. A random band called Slinky Dog's Revenge. It's hilarious. Every song is about cats, pizza, or toaster streusel, and they even have their own mime quartet as backup dancers. You all sing along, easily learning the band's memorable lyrics and sublime movements of the mimes to what will become inside jokes all summer. The lead singer, Sid Phillips, pulls Scott and Sarah on stage to give them free t-shirts for their rad fan energy. Gain 1,000 points. How did you do? Total up your score. Did you score at least 5,000 points? You saved the summer and helped your friends. Did you get a perfect score? You not only made things epic for Scott and Sarah, but also landed a Nickelodeon deal. They want your creativity on their team. Did you bomb out most of the rounds? Oh no. Scott and Sarah's summer tanks. Over time, they become people who remove the white part of Oreos and just eat the cookies. Ugh. Either way, thanks so much for playing Scott and Sarah's most excellent summer adventure.